Feminine leadership creates space in cultures for unique creativity, inclusiveness, collaboration, and supportive competition. So those that step authentically into the feminine while leading are able to demonstrate insight, kindness, and the desire to energetically connect to and unlock true potential in others. So this and more I'll be discussing about with my guest on today's show. This is Omobola Stephen, and you know what? My guest on today's show is Emine Mehmet. Now, Emine Mehmet is an energy intuitive and sacred feminine leadership mentor. Now, the thing is, if you don't understand what feminine leadership mentor means or sacred feminine, in case you're not familiar with it, it is the innate energy in-house and in the universe, the source like it itself. The qualities of unconditional love, compassion, wisdom, beauty, gentleness, patience, accepting, nurturing, intuitive, healing, accessible, and welcoming. Now, here is on my show today. Welcome, Emine Mehmet. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me on your show, Bella. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And so thank you, Emine Mehmet. And so, can I meet you, please?
Yeah, sure. So I'm located in Sydney, Australia. I'm an energy intuitive and a sacred feminine leadership mentor. And my mission is to support women to live with courage, passion, and purpose by owning their voice and stepping into their power.
Okay, that's great. So can you please talk more about sacred feminine and how it can be beneficial to us, especially the women?
Sure. So women are natural born leaders. I'm not talking about leadership in the sense of being a CEO or a political leader, which we do and we do really well. What I'm talking about are our natural feminine instincts and abilities to step into a leadership role, whether it's with our families or our community, in a way that brings with it nurturing, love, compassion, authenticity, healing, intuition, abundance, and all those other lovely things that you mentioned at the beginning of the show. So we are naturally designed for these types of roles. This is what we do. We bring people together. However, what's happened over the centuries is that we have taken a step back and we have really been hiding in our own shadows, afraid to be our full potential self, our full, beautiful, energetic, passionate, powerful selves, which when we are, enable us to give so much to those we love and our communities around us. But we constantly hold ourselves back because of a fear of being judged, a fear of not being good enough, and a whole lot of other fears that might come up as human beings and as women.
Great. Emine, do you think that childhood experiences, our background, the family, our family setting has a lot of role to play when it comes to the issue of this feminine of a thing? Like, because you have some, okay, I'm listening.
Sorry. Yeah. So what happens to us is we get really, from birth, we are programmed to be a certain way, do certain things, think a certain way, not do other things. And not just from our family, from our society, in school, et cetera, And these are the beliefs that we carry with us throughout our lives, which end up influencing and affecting our adult life, our future life, and everything that we do based on things that we were taught or programmed when we were very young that really are not relevant when we are adults,
That's right. Yeah. Absolutely, because I can really relate to what you say. Like, for instance, I grew up in a dysfunctional family setting, and so I grew up without that much love and acceptance that I needed from my parents. And so it was really difficult for me to analyze situations, managing relationships, and also take, important decisions in life. And so I think that's very important also for us to consider the background and the family setting and our programming also. And so the reason why we need to also work on our belief system, or what you say to that?
Yeah, absolutely. What I would say to that is that based on your experiences, that you would have developed certain beliefs about yourself and certain ways of being about yourself that you have carried on in your life. And as you say, that affect all of your life. And so the thing is that breaking those systems down takes a lot of commitment. It takes practice, it takes courage, and a willingness to make the journey to face all your fears, to accept yourself, to love yourself unconditionally, show compassion for yourself as well. So it's there is work to do. It's unfortunately not a simple solution. I wish it was, but it's a process. It's a layered process. And when you start to understand the benefits of that, because the benefits on when you get to the other side, and as we're always learning, as you said to me earlier, we're always learning. So it doesn't stop. You don't reach a point and then that's the end of it. It's a continual process for the rest of your life.
Absolutely. Interesting. I tell you this now, I'm trying to, have a positive outlook to life. If not, everything you've put out, everything just right now resonated, I tell you. And so I'm really, really impressed. And so the next thing is that, what solution can you prefer to someone who believes he or she is not worthy now in terms of love, acceptance, and good relationships?
That's a great question. What I want to say to you is that you are. And that no matter what you think, that there are people out there who care about you and who love you. And all you have to do is look around, open up your heart, open up your eyes, and leave behind the woundings that you have, or be willing to leave behind the woundings that you have experienced. Be open and willing to see what is out there for you and who is really there supporting you outside of what you believe yourself to be.
Great. So how do you deal with clients who has issues open up or prefer to involve the family before they can divulge any information to you? So I believe that because for your kind of personality and the work that you do, you have different kind of people, especially women who walk up to you. And some find it pretty difficult to be able to, extricate their painful feelings to you. So how do you handle those kind of personalities?
Yeah, so I suppose the way I like to work with my clients is I like them to get to know me and feel comfortable with me. And so I invite them on a call with me first. I invite them to join my Facebook group, which I have for women, called the Sacred Feminine, Liberate Your Sacred Feminine Power. And I like them to get to know me so that they feel comfortable first off, and they resonate with me and feel that I can support them. And then when we get to that point and we start doing the work, really, it's a gentle letting go and a peeling away of the layers. So I find that as I work with people, with women, that they gently reveal themselves to me, which is completely fine by me. I give them the space and hold the space for them that they need. It's not for me to push. I'm not there to push them or force them or anything like that, because if you do that, it just doesn't work. If someone's not ready, they're not ready. So we go at their pace. And what else was it? Yeah, so that's I think that's the key. The feeling comfortable with me, and then just allowing them to untangle themselves gently.
Absolutely, that's very important. Now, I've come to understand that many people assume that masculine and feminine energies are gender specific, and that has created a collective unconscious bias that parents or prevent us as individual, unique human beings to step authentically into finding a personal balance within these energies. Now, as an energy entities and also feminine leadership mentor, what is your take on this?
Yeah, so yes, as human beings in the physical sense, we may identify with masculine or feminine or some neutral, but as an energetic being, because we are made of energy. In fact, everything on this planet is made of energy. The pen you might have in your hand has an energetic field. So as an energetic being, we have a masculine and a feminine within us, no matter what sex you identify with or don't. And the key is the balance of the masculine and the feminine, understanding and knowing and allowing yourself to be in the masculine when you need to, or the feminine when you need to, you know. So it's never perfect because we are human. And I have to say that at the moment, most women and most professional corporate women will find themselves more in their masculine because of, you know, what's expected of them in the corporate world. And in that way, they can find that they, you know, might feel a little bit like lost within themselves. They feel a little bit like something's not quite right or whatever, or they've completely lost themselves. And so that is, I think, one of the things about our modern age is that as women, we do tend to be more in the masculine because it is a patriarchal system at the moment, although that is changing.
Absolutely. I wish it's going to change. And with your help, things can only get better.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
That's right. So do you consider personality traits when you're dealing with your clients?
You know, what I do is with my energy work, so I can very quickly determine what's going on for someone, what energies they're holding within their energy field, what woundings they might have. And so personality is more, I would say, a more mind-based thing, whereas I work with with the energy fields and and spirituality. So I don't really look at personality so much.
Oh, okay, that's right. That's great. So, you know, because you're an energy intuitive, I wanted to ask that why does our energy, you know, say much about us? Like people say, oh, your energy introduces you before you begin to speak. So what's your take on that?
Yeah, so each of us, as I said before, have an energy field, and it is unique to us. And our energy fields are full of information, because energy is a frequency. And if you think about things like sound waves or light waves, you know, that's a frequency, and sound waves transmit information that we receive in our ears, you know what I mean? And so your energy field is the same thing. It is a frequency, and it transmits information about who you are, what you believe about yourself, to others. And that is how we receive information as human beings is via frequency and via energy, because we listen to people speaking to us, and that is a frequency and energy, and that is how we receive information. Our bodies interpret that information like a code. It deciphers it and understands itself what it is. And so that is why your energy field says so much about you, or as you said, says more about you before you walk in the room. It's because you are transmitting who you are within your energy field to the rest of the world.
Beautiful. So, Amina, and can you just tell me, why do people find it hard to love themselves and to love others? What's the underlying factor? What's the reason for this? 'Cause I have some of my clients come to me and talk about this issue of self-acceptance and self-love. They find it hard to really love themselves and love the people around their lives. And so, because of what you do, because I know as a sacred feminine leadership mentor, this is all about what you do. So, what can you say about it? What advice can you give us?
So, in terms of loving ourselves, I think that number one, society, sees that people who love themselves are conceited and arrogant, egotistical, all that sort of thing. And I guess in one part of us sees loving yourself to mean that, because that's the way we've been brought up. The other part is that we have not been brought up to love ourselves, and we have not been brought up to understand that before we can love others authentically and fully, we must first know how to love ourselves and respect ourselves and honor ourselves, because then we can do the same to others in a much more authentic and genuine way. So the journey to self-love is about more understanding of yourself, awareness of yourself, acceptance and loving of your journey, of your wounds, of your experiences, and opening up your heart gently and allowing yourself to see the truth of who you are. And in that way to learn to know to love yourself.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. In fact, I'm so super impressed, with all the outcomes of this talk show. Now, do you have any pet projects you have presently that you're doing?
Yes, absolutely. So at the moment, I have an 8-week online group program for women called Your Awakening. And it's all about providing you with information and tools to be able to support you through life challenges and to enable you to really start to build your awareness of yourself, your confidence of yourself, your love of yourself. So that's an 8-week online program that it involves eight online modules, 8 weekly classes with me, 8 classes with me, 1 a week, and where I support you and help you through any challenges you're going through, any of your blocks, and also a whole lot of other bonuses.
Great. Thank you, Emine. Well, this is Omobola Stephen. Now, we've been talking about the power of feminine leadership with my guest today, Emine Mehmet. She's an energy, intuitive, and sacred feminine leadership mentor. So in case you missed my episodes, you can catch up online. Just simply search for Omobola Stephen. Sit back, relax with a cup of fresh juice and have a really, really amazing, and what we're listening experience on the go. And so, Mehmet, can you give us your last word? Parting word?
My last parting words would be to really, really love yourself, to be open to experience that, to be open to experience the joy of who you are, and to not give up, and know that if you need support, it is out there for you with whatever you're going through. All you have to do is ask and reach out.
Thank you once again. Thank you, Emine. It's been a pleasure having you on this show. I believe that we can do this another time again.
I would love that.
Yeah. Thank you once again, Emine.